All right, this is the video of the final assembly, and I also decided to show you this rig and the weight without the adapter parts in there. These new springs, I was getting some lower readings before, but here we go. This is, this is a no BS. This is what it is. Okay, zeroed, okay, and let me, am I in the way again? Okay, there we go. 5 point, there it's settled at 5.5 grams. Now 5.5 grams, 4 wheels, touch over a gram a piece, not nearly enough for reliable contact. Okay, so that's what the issue is without the pieces in it. Okay, and here's what we're going to do about that. First thing we have to do is take these trucks out. This screw here, they hold the arms. See the motion there? Can you see that good? Motion there. We take the arm off the piece here. Let me get you an angle. Okay. There we go. There's one. Just these two screws is all that we're taking apart. These are tiny screws. I don't know what this is. It's a Phillips, very tiny. Okay, take those two screws out. We can now lift the truck out and set it aside. We want to be very careful in how we handle this now, because the wires, there are wires. It's hardwired to the frame. Okay, they're connected here. They come up from the truck. Now, what's cool about this truck design has the spring load. You see that? That's what we're trying to get into play. Without that, this arm basically just bends here, and doesn't add much of that spring load at all. But this arm has a raceway through it to allow the wires to go through, and a little snap-in cap, all very nicely made, nicely done stuff. The cap will be a Delrin cap. And what we're going to do now is support this arm basically right over the spring, right over the bolster, right over the pivot. Okay? And we're going to do that with these pieces. Okay? And the key to this is this face here is going to set underneath that arm. That arm at this point is now going to ride on that face. And that's going to support it so the arm isn't flexing and just absorbing anything that would have been spring tension. There's two different ones of these. Even though they're very similar in appearance, there are two different heights to them. You can see that. Can you see that, do you think? Okay, visibly, this is the higher, this is the lower one on that arm that it's riding on. Okay, and the reason for that, if we come over here, the speaker grill is in this end. The speaker grill has got a little bit of a raise off that floor in there. This end has nothing, so it's very flat, and it actually then sits lower than this speaker end. So the speaker end receives the shorter of the two pieces, okay, which is this one, okay? The other thing you'll notice, there's a slight difference also in the back sides of these. And that's for how they register in the pocket. There's a little bit of difference in each end. But the real important feature, real key, is the two different heights. Okay? So the lower of the two has this end, goes in the speaker grill end. And all there is to it, I like to use these for convenience. We slide it in underneath those two wires. Okay, make sure it's under them and not getting them caught and pinched. And it just sets in there. Okay, that's all there is to that. Now, we put the truck back on. Okay, you can look and make sure that you haven't caught or pinched any of the wires, but you're not inclined to. If you've set it in, there's plenty of room for them to move, just as there was in that cavity. And they're not inclined to pinch, but give it a look, make sure. Okay, now I'm going to have to get my fingers in your way a minute there. we take the screw and there we go. Put the screw into the arm. The truck in place holds that in there. So, and I don't have to kill that screw, but snug it. Okay, now we've got the higher of the two pieces. This goes in on both ends. This narrower face goes towards the end of the locomotive. If you look visually from the top, it narrows a little bit towards the end. There's a little bit of a taper to it. So the narrow end goes towards the end of the locomotive on both ends. I've got it in, tucked, made sure it was underneath the wires. There it is. And same deal now. And this is all there is to this. So, got the other screw. Okay.
Is this going?
Yeah, as far as I know. We'll find out, won't we? And there we go. We put the screw in. And okay, that's done. Now, let's see what we got. Let's lift this up with the supports under them. They're completely hidden. They don't show at all. Okay, sitting in the rails. We're at 0. Yeah, 0. Okay. There we go. 22.3. I was shooting for between 20 and no more than 25. I'm not sure the springs will let us have 25. Okay, now we'll turn it around, double check this end, and there we go. I think that's settled. Can you? And whoop. It hasn't settled yet. It'll say hold there. 20.8. Well, that's where we are. We're getting in that 20, 25 gram range. Now, there's only one more thing I want to check when we're done, just to make sure if you somehow didn't have that seated right. What you can do, set it on level. You could put it on a piece of track, but the flanges are the same height. You want to stoop down here with me? Okay. Run the wheels somewhat towards the front. Now, push down on this end. There, without much effort. Make sure that the wheels on this end lift off at least the thickness of the flange. There, without any real effort. That proves to us that there is room for this truck to adjust. And if this end wouldn't lift for some reason, it would be this end that was too tight. If for some reason that piece wasn't seated in there, it might not do that. Okay, but as long as we get at least that, that's proven to us that we're safe. I don't anticipate problems there, but it's a nice extra check. And that's it. Okay.